So I've been getting back into like some older nostalgic games lately, and one of these games that I'm getting into is Viva Pinata. So there's an Xbox, two Xbox versions actually, and a Nintendo DS version. There's also another like party one, but I've never played that. I don't know what it's like. So I'm going to ignore that one. I always go back to these games every now and then. I just love them so much. I actually haven't played the DS version for a really long time now. But it just kind of occurred to me that these are like the ultimate cozy game. I really, really, really want them to release a new Viva Pinata game. Honestly, these games still stand up now and they're so old. But yeah, I've been playing it on my DS a little bit. But yeah, I'll get into like the nitty gritty of what these games are like if you haven't played them before and kind of go through what to expect. Starting off with Viva Pinata on Xbox, the OG. I remember my brother had an Xbox, and when he was at work, he let me play it in his very dark, gross teenage boy room. But I just had the best time. It's a pretty basic game. You just happen upon this garden and then you get to work. You'll slowly be introduced to all of your tools and then what they can do, starting off with your shovel, clearing the ground, placing down grass, and all the good stuff like that. And then you learn how to plant seeds and care for them. And as you do this, you'll get your first few pinatas starting to show up. You'll need to hit certain requirements for them to show up and then to actually come visit into your garden and then become a resident. You'll unlock new tools such as long grass or the ability to make ponds or get seeds as you progress as well. And then this will kind of just naturally get new pinatas to appear as you bring in new stuff. It gets really, really exciting as you progress. You'll see new pinatas and they look really cool and new and exotic. So you'll kind of want to investigate to see what you need to do to make them a resident, and then you start doing it. Along with pinatas, you'll get new shops popping up. There's a general store that sells seeds and decorative items. And you'll get all sorts of new stuff in there as you hit new levels, so it's always fun to check in and see what's new. There's also a hunter who can find and even sell you some special pinatas. There's a builder who can build homes for pinatas and a few other shops as well. You can also eventually even unlock helpers to assist you in the garden, although I'm gonna be real, they are the least helpful people I've ever met in my entire life. Later on in the game, you'll also get these things called sour pinatas that pop up, and you've pretty much got to complete their requirements just as you would like any other pinata, but you need to do it as quickly as you possibly can because when these pinatas come to visit, they can make your other pinatas sick. So when you do meet their requirements, they transform into these really new cool pinatas, and you'll also get this little kind of totem thing that can stop more sour pinatas of that type from coming into your garden and ruining your life. So yeah, lots of stuff is always happening. And while it sounds like a really chill and cozy game, and it is, but as soon as you hit some of those higher levels, it actually does get challenging to meet some of those requirements. Like it's not always easy and straightforward to do. So it kind of stops it from getting boring towards like the middle to end of the game. There's always things to work towards, like you can breed your pinatas to try and make some money or become a master breeder of that type of pinata, which will get you some XP to level up. You can also get some variants of certain pinatas and plants that, again, doing this will help you level up to some of those higher levels. And also it's, it's best not to think too much about what's going on either. I mean, you can just interbreed your pinatas like crazy. In my game, I'm pretty sure my worms were all siblings, but also parents and children, aunts and uncles, grandmothers and grandfathers, all at the same time. Yikes. And it can also be a bit of a frustrating game. You know, I was trying to get two of my experiments just to mate, and it took me like half an hour because one kept attacking another pinata for some reason. I think it was a nearby weed that was making him go wacko. And then the other one just kept flying away onto stuff so I couldn't find him and going into the birdhouse. And yes. But yeah, on that note, pinatas do attack each other if they don't happen to like each other. And some pinatas also need to eat certain pinatas to become a resident, or, you know, just because they like to, I guess. And if you do get a little frustrated like I did, there's a really cool dude named Cedos who you can actually attack with a shovel to take all of your anger out on. And he's kind of a little annoying, so it's great. Next up is Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise, which is just this cool upgraded version of the original without removing any of the good stuff. Everything is pretty much the same, except you've got some new plants, vastly improved graphics, much better controls, and the camera angles much better. You can visit a desert and a snowy region as well and get some really new, cool, exotic pinatas. You can also place sand and snow in your own garden to spice it up a bit more as well. So lots of new stuff, but you know, they don't ruin the game. And then finally we have the Nintendo DS version, which is currently my favorite of the three. It's very similar to the Xbox versions, but also very different at the same time. The menu system is much easier to navigate, in my opinion. Everything is super quick and easy to find and get to, whereas in the Xbox version, there's quite a bit of loading and mucking around in the menu to find things. I also found the tools and the shops easier to kind of get to and use and all that stuff. Having two screens for this game is just incredibly useful. You don't need to open up a million menus to find things like, you know, requirements or blah, blah, blah. It's all just there for you to see. And more importantly, you can still hit Cedos with a shovel when you get frustrated. So just a great game. But yeah, you still do everything else the same. You fix up your garden, you attract pinatas in, get their requirements and have them become residents. You'll get seeds and care for the plants and decorate as you please. Pretty much exactly the same game, just in a Nintendo DS style handheld form. Obviously, the graphics took a big hit, but it's worth it for handheld, in my opinion. So there you have it. Gosh, I would just love a new current version of this game. I think it would hit so well in today's kind of cozy kind of climate when everyone's kind of getting into these games. And I mean, these ones are probably close to being 2 decades old and they still hold up extremely well. You can also play the Xbox games on Game Pass, so at least those ones are easily accessible as well. So just a great bunch of games, and God, I can't even imagine what they would be able to do if they made a new one of these today with, like, you know, all the new updates, technology, blah, 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 I don't know, all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!